Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my workshop, or the tip, as I call it. And I'm just bringing the chat up. There we are, so I can see who's in now. Oh, see, Rob's in. Klingspor pencil, new Klingspor pencil. All I've got to do now is find a pencil holder that I got from Ruby at Harrogate, which has gone missing. So I'll bring the guys in. And tonight we've got Mark, we've got Ruby, with Johnny who's just gone out of camera is sitting with her, and we've also got Todd as well.
Hello.
Hello, folks.
Howdy, everyone.
There we go.
I don't have to be up there.
Bring that chat back up. Right. What we're doing tonight, we're going to do some colouring tonight, so there's not going to be very much turning. I've got 3 blanks. I've got the one that I did last week, which I'll show you, which wasn't a great success. So that's getting turned off. And then I'm going to be using Jo Sonja's paints, probably the iridescence. And I'm going to be doing different abstract techniques, like using a balloon, using cling film, using bubble wrap. I might even use a feather. I might even do a centrifugal one. But there's not going to be a lot of turning. I'm just going to be flattening things off, getting it sanded down so we can have a play with colour. I'll just change camera. That one, I think. Yeah, that one. So this is the piece from last week when I did the string pull feather, and then did the gold leaf size with Emma's colours, flakes and powders over the top. You can actually see a wee bit of colour change there. But the thing is, with the Jo Sonja's paints are classed as an interference paint, which is why when you do the likes of the string pull and different techniques, you get all the shadowing in there. You get some solid, you get some shadowing and everything. Excuse me. But using the gold leaf size, that doesn't give, even though I went across and then pulled it down, it doesn't actually give that shadowing effect. It just gives a solid piece of gold leaf size. So basically it's covered all of the paints up. So further experimentation is needed on that. So what I'll probably do, and Todd said this as well, what I'll probably do the next time I try this is do the gold leaf size first with the powders and the flakes. And then on top of that, do a string pull with the colours. I don't know if I'll do that tonight. I might not do that tonight. Make sure
right, so while you're doing that, I'll go through who's in at the moment. So we start off with Wee Val, then we've got Jennifer's Crafting Creations, and then we've got Mike Yu from Ilminster, Door 60, Ruby's in, Roger Kent's in, Alex Wurzel, the Wood Butcher, Roger Kent, we've got Old Man River, Wood Turner, and we've got Barry Chitty, Jeff Christie, Todd Glencoe Woodworks, Chris Nunn, going down. Klingspor Abrasives, Ainley Wooden Barrel, Howie Gibb, Dances with Aardvarks, and we've got Peter Carlos, Huey's in, and then we've got Brian at Hardwood Turning, Martin at Woody's Creations, and I'm at the bottom of the list. If I missed anybody, sorry.
Did you get it all, Dawson?
Who?
Did you say Brian was in?
Yeah, Brian's in.
Look what I got, Brian. I didn't even need to ask.
Did you get Al Dawson?
No, I missed Al Dawson. Do apologise. Al, glad you're
Yeah,
here.
I missed him too.
Well, guys, that's why you have me here.
I didn't do bad. I only missed one. Out of all these people.
Right, get this sanded. Oh, helps if you plug it in.
Plug it in and turn it on. We're expecting much. Here we go. Getting Kenny's in. William.
Al says he was standing behind everyone. I guess that's why.
Oh, that's why I didn't see him.
Well, being short, that's why I was able to see him.
Stand on a box next time.
Thanks, Jennifer. I try not to miss anyone. Layla, the picture that was on the wood was the one from last week. And to save time turning the piece, he's just taking it off, cleaning the surface. So today he's going to put a new picture on, or several. And Gav said I was in. Hi, Gav. Apparently he was standing behind Al, and Al was blocking you from seeing him.
Yeah, we are. We'll just take that up to 240. I think that's all it needs.
Todd at Glen Cove says Wayne is decomposing the blank.
Oops.
Deconstructing.
I'd say he's just erasing it.
Sand and sealer.
Thanks, Shug. Martin's asking if anyone's doing the Albion Timber Open day next month.
Nope. That's in Sheffield, isn't it?
I believe so.
I don't think I'm doing any shows this year. Just demos.
Well, it's 3 weeks now. Oh, and Pete's joined us. Good morning, Pete.
Morning, Pete.
Hi, Pete.
Well, 3 weeks and then I head for New Zealand. And Paul Finley has joined us. Hi, Paul.
Evening,
Hi,
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah, this black color that Wayne has put on just makes a good base to show the Jo Sonja paints against. Oh, and Pete's warning me that when I get down there, the blood rushes to the heads of us northerners that visit down under. I'll keep that in mind, Pete. Thanks for the advice.
This shouldn't take long to dry off.
Hi, Michael.
Tell you what I didn't
Michael
do.
Wilson's
I
just
didn't
come
put
in.
I didn't put a mortise in, did I?
No, you
No,
didn't.
not to worry. I've got a couple other blanks. I don't have to do the other side of this one.
Martin is saying that timber show is June 1st in Sheffield, 21st.
Lucy's in. Hello, Lucy.
Evening, Lucy.
Hi, Lucy. And Alan Jones has joined us. Hi, Alan.
So for
There
those
we
of you
go.
that have come in late, Wayne's not doing a lot to turn in tonight, but he is going to demonstrate quite a few different colouring techniques.
Right, get some pots. I think the first one I'll do is one that's inspired by Gary Lowe, which is the Cosmic Clouds. Gary did this, or first did this, a lot of years ago. That's red. That's violet. That's blue. Excuse me.
And ours in.
And that's green.
Oh, and Christina Michael will join her in as well.
Evening, C&M.
And Michael brought up a good point. Everyone hit the like button now and show Wayne some support.
Right, and I'm going to put in some. Oh, where are you? Where are you? Oh, wrong camera. Some flow medium.
Okay. And Ron Todd has joined us from the West Bank of New Jersey.
Don't be adjusting your monitors there if you don't see those colors Wayne was talking about. They'll show up in a minute.
Oh yeah, all of these colours, if you haven't used these before, all of these colours come out cream. I'll just get them mixed up a bit. The colour in with the flow medium. And then basically what I'm going to do is just pop this around.
Al Jones says it's great to see you back, Wayne. Had to
Thank
play
you.
catch up with the demos, but as he said, it's great to see you back.
Right, so that was the red. Now I'm just mixing up the violet which I've got to say is my favourite colour in the Jo Sonja iridescent range.
Yeah, I think it's probably mine too.
Well, I'll make it a threesome.
Susie the Swiss woodturner's in on that bombshell.
Hi, Susie.
That's the violet. This is the, I think I said that, didn't I? This is the blue. And this is the green.
Michael says this is going to be a nice piece. He can feel it. And William Brown has joined us. Hi, Will.
Dora say he wanted to send you a little something for your hydration fund, but there's no super chat option available because Wayne's
No,
been
there's a,
demonetized.
yeah, I've been demonetized. If you hit the link at the top of the chat, that'll take you
can
to
buy him
my, that'll take
your
you to
coffee link.
my buy me a coffee page where you can make a donation if you wish. Oh God, paint bloody everywhere
And
again.
Heather has joined us. Hi, Heather.
Evening, Heather.
There you go,
Right,
then.
so all I'm using for doing this, once I get it untangled from the rest of the wires in here, I'm just using my airbrush. I've taken the colour off, and I'm just going to use my airbrush just to blow this about. Oh, I've got my drill and my wee compressor plugged in at the same point, so I'm going to keep on swapping them over.
If you haven't got an airbrush, Wayne, you could do this with a drinking straw, can you?
You can, yeah. Jeff Hornung uses like a, he does use a straw, but he uses another system as well, where it forms like a venturi.
Oh, yes.
Can really see those colors start to pop out now.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, you could always take some plastic wrap and just dab them and get them to spread out like that.
We will be using cling film a little bit later.
We'll just call that foreshadowing, right?
And Martin says you can use a camera lens dust blower as well. Good idea, Martin. And Michael's asking, what's the venturi?
What's a venturi? Right. Let me explain this simply. You know when you're driving your car and you've got your window part down, and none of the air tends to come in. The air from the inside of the car tends to go outside. That's what a venturi is.
And Ron says he just put a regulator on his air hose and turns the pressure down to 25 psi. And YV Woodshed's joined us. Hey, Andy,
Yeah,
welcome.
the thing is, my compressor is that loud that I don't want to put it on. There we are. That's the first one done. I've got a fair bit of wet paint still here, so I'll just keep on having a blow around it, get more shadowy effect. That's it. So there you go for that one.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was inspired by Gary Lowe, who was a professional wood turner from the Highlands of Scotland. And I can't remember when he first did one of those, to tell you the truth.
Been a while ago because he's really old.
He's almost as old as we are, Wayne.
No, I don't think so.
No,
Yes.
he's more like Mark, just a young man.
Oh, he's way older than me.
Get these out of the way somewhere so they don't get a lot of dust in them in this workshop.
Yeah, it's wishful thinking.
So again, with this one, I'm just going to take this straight across. That speed's really low.
Here's one you turned early.
Rob says airbrushes with the bottles underneath are a good example of the Venturi effect. The air flowing through the brush sucks the paint from the bottle.
That's it, yeah, Rob.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Brad says, Wayne, you're so old that you're the one that planted the trees you're now turning. Well, we planted them about the same time, didn't we?
Just lift your mic up a little bit, right? Please. Thank
That
you.
okay?
Yep. Okay, ketchup. Huey's just said ketchup. I can remember the code word, Huey.
Been doing it again, been putting stuff down and then can't find it.
Boy, that sounds familiar.
It's
It's more and more common for me to walk into a room and not remember why.
Wait till you get to our age, Todd.
I was at a demonstration last Wednesday and I had 20 people convinced looking for my dividers. It was about an hour later I realised I had them in my back pockets. He said, I'm sure I put them down here somewhere.
Well, we're not forgetting the mortise this time.
no, we're not forgetting the mortise this time.
Mike says, don't even have to walk into another room. Just already forgot by the time I stand up.
Yeah.
Half the time I forget to stand up, so I hear you.
And Dale says that he pours a drink and walks out of the kitchen without it.
Right, this is a wee tool that I made a lot of years ago, and it's just for putting the mortise in.
And
You
it
can
already,
use a skew chisel, but
oh dear, Rob says he may or may not have left his good lady wife in ASDA as he forgot she was with him.
that's Asda. It's a supermarket.
That's the only by Walmart, don't they?
Thanks, Alex. And Paul has joined us. Hi, Paul.
Right, now this here, it's not where it's uneven, it's just a bit of discoloration from where this has been sitting out in the weather.
From here, it looks like there's a little figure in this wood.
A little bit, not much. So start off with sand and sealer again. No, I haven't even sanded this one.
It will work. You don't need sanding.
Let's get that dried off. It is fairly... Doesn't matter, since it's just a practice piece.
Is it very warm up where you are, Wayne?
It is, yes. I think we should be getting some rain coming in Friday night, Saturday morning.
We're rain here today till about midday.
We're getting the rain now. And it's cold.
Turn it down to the low speed, which is around about 145 on this.
Old Man River is asking what's warm. Here in the UK, about 20 is warm. That's
You'll have to
Celsius.
convert that.
Double it now, 30, 70 Fahrenheit.
Actually, 65 is warm.
It starts to get warm in Dallas when it hits about 85 to 90.
Ugh. I keep my house at about 65, Todd.
My nephew's been living in New York for the last couple of years, and him and his wife have just recently moved to Miami. And he said, "Oh, I'm not worried about the heat. So you haven't had a summer in Miami yet." Because how hot can it possibly get? You'll see.
Now, Rob has given us a good warning. He says he's on holiday next week. So you can count on torrential rain, snow, hailstones, and the occasional tornado.
Cool, that's good then. Okay, it's bank holiday on Monday, isn't it?
It is.
Still rain.
Brad, I'm just across the river from you in Windsor, and I agree. I start wearing shorts and t-shirts when it's around 50.
Right, what I want with this is more bigger pieces. Let's change that to
And the Love
this.
Angels in. Hi, Donna.
Hi, Donna. Now, which color was that you put on, Wayne?
Yes, it was. Because I didn't mark the cup. It looks like violet. That's what it looks like.
Andy from
That-
AH Bespoke's in.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
That was the blue.
And AH Bespoke has just joined us. Welcome.
That's Andy.
Okay,
That's
Andy.
Andy.
There.
Now I did blow this balloon up earlier on, but it must have a slow puncture somewhere. Right, so all I'm going to do with this, I've got a variety of colours, another 4 colours that I'm using. I'm just going to press down and twist, just to see what sort of effect we get. I might press down and twist and give it a tail. We'll see how it works out. Yeah, I'll probably have to go over some of these a couple of times.
It's a fair question there, Rob. How on earth did anyone figure out to use a balloon to do this?
I'm not too sure because I don't think I've watched any YouTube videos on people using balloons.
Yeah, you can use bubble wrap. You can use.
Yeah, I've got the
cling
bubble wrap
film.
here. I've got the cling film here.
And if you really want to have fun, you can use your fingers too, you know.
Yeah, now, Mick Hanbury, who was one of the first guys I saw using the Jo Sonja's paints, what I'll do, I'll just pull some of this paint out here towards the edge. He actually decorated the edge of a bowl using thumbprints. Except that's not going to work very well, but he went round the whole of the edge of the bowl and used thumbprints to actually decorate.
Rob says it's another example that woodturners are as mad as a box of frogs. Well, we never denied that, Rob.
Never a true order said.
So that's the balloon technique. Now I did I'm forgetting what I titled it now. It was Galaxies. I called it Galaxies when I did this a few years ago.
Do you mean you were pretentious and you named the piece?
Yes, I was very pretentious.
Mark, that was back in the olden days.
Oh, back in the olden days, right, okay. Before electricity.
And Donna says that she uses the netting that you can get from onions and satumas.
Yeah, another good thing to use is you know the non-slip matting you can get
Right.
with the squares cut out of it. I haven't got a
The
piece
router
here.
matting.
Yeah, router matting. Yeah, you can use that as well.
And
William,
go ahead, Todd.
I was going to say William Brown says the last time I did one of these, he blew up a rubber glove after watching Wayne.
That works.
And Mike says he uses his fishnet tights. It doesn't smudge as much.
The
If you're
whole
going to
point
use
of
one of
me
those,
doing this, the whole point of me doing this is that I'm wanting it to smudge.
if you're going to use one of those shower scrunchies, buy a separate one. Don't just use your partner's and then put it back afterwards. They don't like it. The same. Yes, you know, I know.
Sounds like words of experience, Mark.
It's a dark day, that whole.
And Drew Peacock has joined us. Hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew. Thanks for popping in.
I learned my lesson on that, Mark, with the toothbrush when I was using a toothbrush to clear the acrylic coatings off of the pin kits I was turning.
Yeah. It's the same kind of principle with the makeup brushes too.
Yeah. I made the mistake a couple of days ago of using some of my wife and daughters. They have the glue sticks for doing crafts, and I did some stuff with the glue sticks. I set the glue stick down next to where my wife keeps her lipstick. She didn't talk to me for like 2 hours.
You're terrible, Todd.
You're always try to fish. Just get a tip your waitress.
Now, Rob has made a point of pointing out that There is such a thing as called a paintbrush that you might want to check out if you run out of balloons, fishnets, cling film, and the rest. Yeah, they do work, Rob. I've used them. And Rod says after watching Wayne do this technique, he uses a crumpled up plastic Home Depot bag. See how you've influenced people, Wayne?
I'll just straighten that one off again. I'll remember to do the sanding on this one.
Alex says that it's boring using a paintbrush, nearly as bad as Sandy. Don't forget to hit the like button, folks, please. Should be down below on the left. Rob thinks it's a really good idea doing the painting with sandpaper.
Yeah, imagine just taking the mandrel out of the drill there and dabbing that sandpaper on there for texture. Could be interesting. The lower grit, I guess, 80 or something.
Okay.
Oh, probably 40 at least. And Rob says you could put net sandpaper down and spray through it. That's a good idea.
I think the holes are too small to tell you the truth.
No, airbrush would go through it.
It's got some nice figure in that wood.
It has. I'll end up taking all the colour off this and finishing it.
You said it was sycamore, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. It's got some ripple.
I think for next week I've got a nice piece of ash sitting over there, nice crotch piece of ash, which should have some good figure in it, so that might get some Hampshire sheen colours.
Nice.
A few sparks coming out of that.
More than a few.
Well, a little flame will just add to the black. Rob is saying sparks and wood shavings. What could go wrong?
Exactly, Rob.
It just adds a little excitement, that's all.
Tune in later tonight while Safety Sue recovers the idea of having a fire extinguisher in your shop.
Yeah, I've got one that's sat just over there.
Paul is asking what paint we use in Canada and the US. Well, you can get the Jo Sonjas in both countries.
Yeah, because they're done through Jo Sonja's in the US. They're done
California.
through Chromacraft.
Yeah.
But for a lot of the techniques, you can use dollar store paint as well, Paul. And Tim Hatch says it looks like it's going to be pretty cool.
Right.
I don't think we called your name out, Tim. Welcome to the group.
I do think.
That's true, Heather. She says that only a wood turner can get away with saying that's a nice crotch piece of ash. And get away with it by saying it to another turner.
So I don't know what it cost in other places, but I was curious, so I ran to Amazon real quick for Jo Sonja artistic acrylic iridescent color set. There's a 6-bottle set in red, blue, green, gold, turquoise, and violet. Basically $40.
That's a good price, actually.
6 2-ounce bottles.
Okay, it's not that price because it does go a long way.
Yeah. It looks
Oh
like
yes, you don't have to use a lot.
Now, Rob is asking what you could seal them with after.
Lacquer.
Because they're water-based, you could use an acrylic spray, or you could use actually any lacquer on top.
That's what I would use.
Yep. I've got a few tins of that in stock, just saying.
That was just some flow medium going in there again. Should I do a centrifuge on this one or cling film?
Oh, a centrifuge would be good for a change.
Okay, I'll stick this back on the lid then.
Mark, you need to put in your website.
I'm doing it.
Oh, you're so slow. These young folks, say, Wayne.
Hang on. Website. It's a bit bad when you can't remember your own website. Hang on. Here it is.
You might want to change the camera when you apply the paint.
I will be, Ruby, thank you.
Just this one might get coated.
No, it's not in the firing line.
Yeah. It's a bit tragic when you can't remember your own website.
So somewhere between a question and a comment, that lacquer is much better than Martin's older lacquer, Wayne. I think that the Hampshire Sheen lacquers are fantastic.
Yeah, same
The
here.
new
Yeah.
recipe that he uses, you only need 2 or 3 coats for a
I
fantastic finish.
find it doesn't come up very glossy. I hope you were watching, see it flash off.
That happens quick.
One thing I've done on occasion is get the paint very almost like a liquid, and while it's turning, applied a brush full of paint to the piece and let it flash off from that. And that gives you a nice effect as well.
The other thing you can do is what I used to do quite a lot is the flick.
Yes.
Hair flick.
It looks like it was a gray.
I think that's supposed to be red.
Looks very tan to us, to me at least.
Yeah, it does to me as well, Todd.
Tim says the Watco lacquer that's available now in the U.S. isn't impressive, and we can't get the Defs anymore. But you'll find the oh, give me a moment and the name will come back.
So here in Dallas, we have Wood World of Texas, and Wood World of Texas still carries the Deft, and so that's a source, and they do ship in the U.S. I don't know if they ship the canned paint like that, but it is a possibility in places.
Oh, I know. It was the Krylon. The Krylon lacquer I found works pretty well too. And as you vary the speeds on that, you can get different effects as well.
Yeah, which I just did.
That's actually working quite well.
I'm covered in paint.
And
Wayne, Tony turns to Woods asking, what speed were you? Or
I
speeds?
was varying that from around about 900 up to about 1500.
Yes, we do get Rust-Oleum products in Canada, Mike. And I like
Whoop.
the Rust-Oleum.
good catch.
Yeah, except I
Something,
think the paint was what just flew.
something went flying.
No, the paint didn't fly. I'd already moved that.
Okay, good thinking.
That's the centrifugal.
That's very nice.
Yeah, I think I should have used different colours, not iridescent on this one. Something bright.
One combination I find works well is if you base coat it with white and then come back with black or a red centrifugaled over it. It stands out quite stunning.
Right, I think we'll just do one more.
And Brian says he uses Halford's clear lacquer and that it works well and has good
Yeah,
UV
it does. You can get
resistance.
some. They do a good range of spray paints as well.
Yeah, we don't get that over here.
They're
Yeah,
nothing
but
like
it's
that
a
cost, are they?
automotive shop. It's just an automotive shop. That piece might fly off.
Another blank coin.
Yeah.
Showing off now.
Jealousy will get you nowhere, Mark.
No, I know. Yeah, but I got two great big boards of walnut in my workshop.
Well,
This is
then you
actually
don't even have
this
to
is
paint them very black.
this is the last of
Yeah.
my sycamore. No, wrong one. That's the one I'm after.
Now, if you were to do this technique on the walnut that Mark was just talking about, the paints that you put on, you want to use a light colored paint.
I've got to admit, Ruby, all the walnut I've had, I wouldn't even dream of colouring.
No, me neither.
And
I'm
Paul
still
says,
recovering from all the death threats I had when I coloured that piece of yew once.
well, rightly so. My goodness gracious.
Yeah, it still looked all right.
Paul says that an automotive gloss black is the cost-effective way of laying down the base. Yeah, when you're doing this technique and you're going to hollow the inside, one thing you should consider is what color the wood is that you start with when you pick the colors to go with it.
Now, I'm not really bothered about that piece of bark there. That'll get forgotten about or get turned out when I end up finishing these, because a lot of the colour is going to come off these that I've just done tonight. These have just been practice pieces to give people an idea of what you can use, or the different techniques you can use for the Jo Sonja's iridescence.
Do you have any chain for doing a chain pull?
I have got some chain here, yes.
Gav's had to leave. See you later, Gav.
Bye, Gav. And Rob says he's surprised he hasn't seen anyone using the Velcro paint on turning. I can't say I've ever heard of it.
Using the what?
Velcro?
Vallejo.
Oh,
Vallejo.
Valero. Yeah,
Vallejo.
I've got some here. I'm sure I've got some here. I used to have some anyway. Yeah, they're good. I've got a whole variety of different paints in here.
Hmm.
Can't put my hand on it.
And Martin says he loves the metallic colors for doing highlights.
Right then. Do you want us to do a chain pull?
Yeah, I think that would
Yeah.
be a change of pace. You've done the string pulls and see how a chain pull comes out differently. And you only need to buy the one chain because it can wash off afterwards and then you can reuse it. Well, you're sanding. Is this when I'm supposed to come in with a joke?
You can do.
Well, I tried to catch some fog, but I missed.
I saw one on Facebook the other day that still makes me chuckle. This is Bob. Bob has no arms. Knock, knock. Who's there? Not Bob.
Do you know that when chemists die, they bury them?
Why?
No, bury them. Bury them.
Oh, barium. Oh, right.
Bury
Okay,
them.
sorry. Shit. Right. Barium. Ish.
Well, there's this girl that said she recognized me from the vegetarian club, but I'd never met her before.
Mhm.
Well, I have one that's easier for you to understand, Mark.
Don't guarantee it.
Do you know that England doesn't have a kidney bank, but it does have a liver pool?
Yeah, well, that's true. I like the way Brad R is explaining the jokes to me. Thank you. I appreciate that. No end.
Brian says he saw a lion's face in that blank.
It's
That
gone
is,
now.
that was a pretty piece of wood, Brian.
It's what all of these, like I say, all this paint's going to get turned off and they'll all be finished platter type things.
Well, this one's just for you, Brad. I stayed up all night to see where the sun went, and then it dawned on me.
Just so you know, folks, that's the second time she's told that joke tonight, and it's not any better the second time.
Mark, jokes about German sausage are the worst.
Oh no!
We changing the name of that heat gun to Sparky.
No, somebody.
That's what Martin asked.
Oh no, somebody said it should be called Hottie.
I like Sparky better.
He is spitting out a few sparks.
Yep, that'll do. Now, where'd I put this piece of chain?
Brad says Ruby's on a roll. Timothy Hatch says a Kaiser roll.
Oh dear.
I was looking for something else this afternoon. I came across this piece of chain. I'll not be able to find it now.
Now what I've done quite often when I use the chain is I dip the chain itself right into the paint.
That's what I do with the string anyway.
It's only when I do the feather. Wayne's medieval period.
It's only when I do the when I'm doing the feather that I lay the paint out so I can get the string in the different colours for doing the feather. Whenever I'm doing the flowers, I always dip the string into the pot of paint. You'll have to bear with me. This chain's in knots.
That's a naughty chain.
This is not in hearts. Like. It's a geography joke there, folks. Could be in beds.
Venison for dinner? Oh dear.
Oh yes. Right. What colour is that? It's a pearlescent stone now.
And I like the one I told last night where I changed my iPad's name to Titanic. It's sinking now.
I'm gonna have to drop out, guys, because I'm just getting a phone call from my sister. So
yeah,
I'll
no bother.
See you all again next time.
See you later.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye, Mark. And Michael Wilson has returned, and Holland Woodworks has come in. Good evening. Yes, William, I did know that the swimming pool on the Titanic is still full. I actually did get to take a look in it. That was back when we were doing the TV series Underwater.
Right, where's the end of this chain going?
What was the name of that series, Ruby? The Last Frontier or something?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on television back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The whole series were all documentaries about under the sea life underwater. That was really good because it basically took me around the world, and I got to see a lot of reefs and different fish life and stuff like that. And the most interesting thing was when we released the whales that were caught in fishing nets. We released 26 of them. You're blocking there. All 26 whales before they swam out to sea. That looks great.
There we are. Now what I'll do, I'll just hold this up to the camera so you can see. But what I'll do, I'll just let this dry naturally overnight, and that'll bring out a lot of the shadowing effect.
Yeah. All 26 whales all came up out of the water, looked at us, nodded thank you, and then went out to sea after they were released.
That's amazing. So you can definitely tell the difference in the effect that chain had over the string because of the consistency in those drag
Yeah.
marks.
I
And
like
the other thing is with the chain, what it tends to do is all the holes in the chain get filled up, so you end up putting more paint down. Whereas with the string, you tend to wipe the excess amount of paint off on the side of the cup. But once this dries, in fact, I'll just take the hot air gun over it.
Tim, he didn't have a mix of colors in that paint pot, but you could mix the colors.
Oh yeah, I mean, I did the other week. I did a mix of colours, especially with the feather. I did a mix of colours, but you can do a mix of colours, yes.
Now, if you came in with a small one on each side of that one, you would have like a bouquet of the flowers.
There's probably enough paint left on that chain to do it again.
Probably.
Oh, well, I wiped it all off.
Oh.
And here I thought you were a Scot and would be willing to use it up. Yeah, you could even come in on the two sides with like a green so that it would emulate the branches or leaves.
Now I've still got a lot of the violet in this cup.
And Martin wants to know if the chain was 18 or 24 karat.
Now, I just got a cheap one. It was just 9 carat. It's the only one Jane had let us have.
And if you vary the type of chain, like as to the diameter of the little balls on it, you get a different effect with each of them.
Yeah, using wash plug chain works really well. Oh, I might have got a bit too much on this.
That's what he said earlier. As he pulled that string, he was dragging it on the rim. Oh, that turned out like perfect.
Yeah, I've got to say, I much prefer using string.
Well, at least now people get to see the different effect by both.
This one will not be as good because I haven't really dipped it. I've just left what's on there.
I don't know.
There you go.
They both look great.
Yeah, wow.
And Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft has joined us. Hi, Wayne.
Hiya, Wayne. And Valerie.
Your X-ray vision's better than mine, Wayne.
So there you are. The center one is with the chain. Still a lot of white on that, but that will change into violet once the paint is dried, and the two outer ones are done with string. So that's, how many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different ones I've done tonight.
Yeah,
So-
the Holland Woodworks is asking, is that just white paint?
No, it's Jo Sonja's iridescent violet. The thing with these paints is when they come out the pot, they all look cream coloured. It's only when they dry that they actually change colour to the colour they should be. I first did that string pull method way back in 2016, 2017, something like that.
At least. Possibly
And
before.
the first time I did the feather was in 2018. So that's a few different techniques that any beginner can do, which is why I did it really. Oh, let's bring the guys back in. There you are.
Wayne, I like your shirt today. You've got on the, in my defense, I was left unsupervised shirt.
Yep.
I'm wearing the I see no reason to act my age shirt.
Well, young Johnny, who was here when we started with me, informed me that I'm not allowed to get older and I'm not allowed to act my age. He reminds me every time I have a birthday.
Yeah, somebody said to me, act your age, not your shoe size. Well, the European shoe size, I'm 43, and I was probably worse then than I am now.
Well, let's see. North American size, I'm about 7.5.
Thanks for all the nice comments. Much appreciated that you've come in, and hopefully, all being well, I will see you all next week, or I'll see you on Doug's Live next Tuesday. So I'm going to say good night. Night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
I'm going to press the button, and the button has